All right, let's jump right in. We're about to look at one of the world's greatest epics, the Mahabharata, but probably not in the way you're used to. Forget ancient history for a second. We're going to use this incredible story as a symbolic map of you. So let's kick things off with a huge question, a real what if. What if this ancient story, this epic tale of kings and battles, wasn't really about them at all? What if it was actually a super detailed guide to your inner world?
Okay, first up, the warriors of perception. Now you can think of these guys as the frontline soldiers of our experience. They're the ones out there engaging with the world. Yep, I'm talking about our five senses.
So our way into this whole system is through a group of key warriors from the epic, and this table, it maps them out perfectly for us. Each one gets assigned to a sense. Now most of them are the famous Pandava brothers, but we're actually going to start with their rival, Karna, who represents sight. Then we've got the Pandavas themselves. Arjuna is hearing, Bhima is smell, Nakula is touch, and Sahadeva is taste. You with me so far?
So let's kick things off with Karna, who stands in for the eye. And symbolically, this is just perfect, right? I mean, he's the son of Surya, the sun god. You know, the ultimate source of light. And light is the one thing you absolutely need for vision. It just clicks. Okay, get this, because this is where it gets really interesting. This slide lays out the core paradox of Karna, which is also the paradox of our own eyes. Think about it. On one hand, your eye can see the entire world. It perceives everything out there. But on the other hand, it has this one tragic blind spot. It can't see itself. Not without a mirror anyway. And this just perfectly mirrors Karna's own story, a guy with incredible perception who is totally blind to his own true identity for almost his whole life. Wow.
All right, next up, let's see how this whole system builds with Arjuna. He represents the ears. And again, the parentage is key. His father is Indra, the god of thunder. So that immediately links him to this powerful, all-encompassing sound. But listen, this isn't just about passively hearing things. No, it's about the impact of what you hear. And this slide just illustrates the point so brilliantly. I mean, look at Arjuna's legendary skills. Shooting an arrow in complete darkness? Pulling off demonstrations while blindfolded? All of these incredible feats rely entirely on his hearing, not his psyche. It just goes to show you the kind of profound mastery that comes from being truly receptive, from listening. Especially, and this is key, listening to guidance.
Then we've got Bhima. He represents the nose. And you guessed it, his father is Vayu, the wind god. So he's literally the gateway for air and even more importantly, for what's called Prana, the vital life force that basically animates our entire being.
So the really crucial thing to get here is that prana is this fundamental energy. It's our life juice, right? And Bhima embodies this force completely. He doesn't just nourish the body, which, by the way, is symbolized by his amazing skill as a cook. He also has the power to shut down all those negative tendencies inside us, which are represented by the Kauravas in the story. And how does he do it? By cutting off their energy supply. It's like an act of internal purification. Super powerful stuff. And rounding out the senses, we have the twin healers. On one side, you've got Nakula, who is the skin. Think of him as our external boundary, dealing with protection and, outward grace. Then on the other side, you have Sahadeva, the tongue, our internal gatekeeper. He's responsible for wisdom and for being super discerning about what we let in. So one protects from the outside, the other filters from the inside. A perfect team. Okay, so let's pause for a second. We've got these five senses, right? Our warriors of perception. They're constantly out there gathering all this information from the world. But then what? Who makes sense of it all? I mean, where does all that data actually go?
Well, that brings us to the next level up, our inner command center. This is where the mind and the intellect take over and start processing all that raw data from the senses.
And here we meet Draupadi. She embodies the mind, or what's called manas in Sanskrit. Now, this isn't a physical organ like the brain. It's more of a subtle, dynamic, emotional core, a central hub that connects to and integrates all five of those senses we just talked about. You can kind of think of her as the central arena where all that sensory input gets turned into actual feeling. And the symbolism of her character is just so rich, you guys. Check this out. She was born from fire, which points to how passionate and transformative our minds can be. Her dark complexion, that suggests this profound depth and mystery that lies within our consciousness. And her close friendship with Krishna, well, that shows the mind's incredible potential for a direct link to our higher self. It's all there in the story. And then, Sitting just above that emotional mind, we have Yudhishthira. Now, yeah, he's the eldest Pandava brother, one of the senses, but in this inner system, he represents something even higher, the intellect, or Buddhi. This is our faculty for reason, for moral judgment. It's essentially our inner compass that tells us what's right and what's wrong.
And this is where it all clicks together into what's called the chain of karma. Just look at this flow, it's amazing. Step 1, karma begins as a simple thought up in the intellect, with Yudhishthira. Step 2, that thought travels down and becomes a feeling, an emotion, in the mind. That's Draupadi. And finally, step 3, that feeling is what drives the senses, the Pandavas, to actually take an action. It's incredible. It shows that every single thing we do doesn't just happen. It originates deep inside our own consciousness, starting with a single thought.
But hold on, we're not done. There is one final and maybe the most profound piece to this entire puzzle. It's the silent presence that's been guiding it all from the very beginning. The silent charioteer, the soul.
And this quote just captures Krishna's role perfectly. He will not perform actions, but guide and complete the purpose of the life journey. Think about that. He doesn't do the work, he enables the work to be done.
You see, Krishna represents the Atman, the supreme self, the soul. He is the silent witness to, well, everything. He doesn't participate, he doesn't fight in the battle, he only observes. He is that quiet voice inside, the source of our deepest intuition and inner guidance. And ultimately, connecting with that part of ourselves is the whole point of our life's journey. He's just waiting for us to realize he's there. Okay, so let's put it all together. Let's assemble this complete system and see how all these different pieces of your inner self fit together like a perfect machine.
So here it is, your inner system in a nutshell. You've got the senses, the Pandavas, out on the front lines gathering all the information. Then you have the mind, Draupadi, who takes that info and turns it into feelings. Above that, the intellect, Yudhishthira, directs and judges what to do next. And through it all, watching everything, is the soul, Krishna, silently witnessing it all and offering that quiet guidance.
Which, of course, leaves us with one final and really powerful question to think about. The Mahabharata, at its heart, is the story of a great war. So if your inner self is the battlefield, who's winning your war?